are you holding one standard for you and then one standard for them?
Alrighty, so today we have something a little different than what I normally post on the channel. This video is titled Andrew Cooks Feminist on Gender Roles and Destroyed Her with Logic. Right off the bat, or the reason I'm reacting to this is because I've seen clips of this Andrew dude, and I'm a big fan of debating myself, just debating in general, all kinds of topics. I just enjoy doing it, and I do feel I try to be logical, and that's even the same approach that I carry in music, which is what I normally react to as far as being objective and not subjective, regardless of what the artist is involved in, the controversy, or even, you know, beefs and all that. I really focus on the craft itself, whether it is good or not. Like I said, being objective. And so since I've seen clips of him, and I've heard of this whatever podcast, I would like to see and hear your guys' opinions and takes on this type of content. If you guys would like to see more of this, drop a like and just give me some recommendations in the comments. But before we get into it, if you enjoy the intro and or outro song, the link to my music will be in the description. And if you'd like access to all my early content, as well as have your name displayed here on my videos, make sure to join and become a member. Now, without further ado, let's get into Andrew Cooks Feminist on Gender Roles and Destroyed Her with Logic. Or her logic. Okay.
In gender roles, like I don't want him to expect me to do anything as a woman. Like I don't want him to have any certain expectation of he thinks I should do this or that I should do that.
Wait, didn't you, I'm trying to call back to the beginning of the conversation. Didn't you say men should pay for first dates?
I said they should, yeah. But if they don't, I'm not saying they have to. Like I would go 50-50, but I would prefer if they did.
So they should?
They should, yeah. But it's not like a deal. Like I'm not like, oh, like I'm not going to go on this date.
But isn't that based on a perception of a gender role?
Yeah, but it's not like I'm
True.
like I'm not like he has to. I would just prefer that. Like if he prefers
he has
me
to if he's going to date you, right?
No, he doesn't have to. I just would prefer
Okay,
that.
so you would go on dates with men who you paid for?
I wouldn't pay for them. No, I would go 50-50.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't pay for them. So then you have a perceived gender role, a stereotypical gender role that you want him
That makes
to do,
sense. That
right?
makes sense. Yeah. Yes.
Sure.
And so if you have a stereotypical gender role you want him to do, why are you adverse to him having a stereotypical gender role for you to do?
This dude is very well spoken. His way of simplifying the questions and the argument, because I do feel in debates a lot of stuff could get clouded, and a lot of times it's intentionally disrupted in order to try to win the debate. But when you simplify things, keep them clear cut, yes, no, that is when a lot of arguments and people's foundation of their views gets, you know, it gets shaken up a little bit. And then that's when you kind of get to the real meat and potatoes of the whole debate.
Are you adverse to him having a stereotypical gender role for you to do?
Because if he prefers me to do something, it's not like he's like, you have to do this. Is more the way where I'm looking at it.
But if you say you wouldn't date a man if he didn't pay for your date, then you're saying he has to pay for the date to date you.
No, he doesn't have to. Like I would
But
still
you
go on the
wouldn't
date if he didn't pay for it.
Oh,
You just got done saying that you
Like,
would
said
not
no.
pay for a date with a man ever. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
How
like
how
I
does that
wouldn't
make
pay
sense?
for 100% of the date. Yeah.
She would do 50-50.
Yeah.
okay. 50-50.
I don't.
Yeah,
so
but
if
then,
you consider that a gender expectation, then
but
sure.
hang on. That's still setting an expectation, though, that if you're not splitting the date 50-50, that he's going to pay for the date, and you're never going to pay for him on the date, which is still a stereotypical.
Oh, because the
gender role.
50% would
So
be
just
her
say,
own 50%.
well, if we go on a
but
date,
she's not
we can
paying for the
split it.
dude.
Or you can pay, but I'm never gonna fucking pay.
I will pay. I will pay.
How's it? leaning into
In
the
a
stereotype.
relationship, like I will
No,
I
no,
will
first
pay.
date.
First date, yeah. First date's different. Like in the relationship, I will pay. Like
Okay,
100%.
let's talk about first date then.
Yeah, first date. I
Okay,
agree.
okay,
I
okay.
have
First date, first
expectation
date.
at least 50-50.
Yeah, so you have some gender roles there, then.
Would you be more or less likely?
So did she say earlier that she doesn't believe in gender roles? Or is that why he kind of has repeated that?
to date a guy who's willing to pay for the whole date?
Yeah, I'm more likely to date.
Well,
'Cause
even
I
if
would
it's not
prefer
an
that.
outright, so even if you're open to the idea of going 50-50, even saying, I prefer, or this is kind of better, that in and of itself is a
That's a gender role?
gendered expectation.
True. Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right.
So are you holding one standard for you and then one standard for them?
I think that's a very specific scenario, though. Like, I think there's
But you're
a lot
still
more
doing it.
to being.
Have you ever asked a guy out?
There's the
No.
trying to keep
Okay,
it blurry.
Well, there's another one. You expect men to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are good points.
That's a very gendered expectation.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry to butt in, but I think gender
You
expectations.
can see it on her face. She doesn't want to admit it. And why? Why though? Like, if I'm wrong about something, I'll be like, oh shit. Like, I've taken in new information and now I'm like, oh, I did not know that. Or if you clarified something to me, or I think Joe Rogan said this once where my ideology is not set in stone. Yeah, he says, like, if there's new information taken in or you just grow as a person, your ideology should change. Not should, but often will, because you view things differently. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you grow as a person. But I could see the struggle in her face to like, oh, fuck, they got a good point. But she's kind of so stuck in her ways.
Okay.
That
That's a very
hesitation
gendered expectation.
is very disingenuous.
Sorry to butt in, but I think gender expectations, like, you can have that personally for your own relationship, but I don't think it should be, like, your view pushed onto everyone else. Like, not everyone
Yeah,
else has
but that really doesn't make much sense because the idea was inside of a relationship, I don't want a man to have any gendered expectations of me at all. It's like, okay,
What?
if that's the case, then why would you have gendered expectations of him?
That was
That's
the
bizarre to
foundation
me.
there? Yeah.
In a
So if you just
relationship,
say, if you
I
just kind of
wouldn't. I
say,
think that's different
nobody
than
should
a
have.
first date.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I
yeah,
didn't
in
mean
a
to cut- I didn't mean to
relationship,
cut you off.
I think it's different than a first date. Like, I don't think I have those gender roles, gender views in a relationship in comparison to a first date.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't expect him to pay for everything, like, in the relationship.
Do you expect him to pay for most things?
No, I think it's situational. I think it depends on who makes more money and things like that.
How many kids do you want? Just curious. Do you want kids?
I don't know yet, but if I did, maybe 2.
Are you going to take maternity leave?
Probably.
How far into the pregnancy do you want to continue working? Like up until you would 8 months, 9
Oh,
months?
Up until-
these are questions that Kevin Samuels would ask in not this specific way, but I kind of see the direction he's going in. If you guys would like to see some Kevin Samuels on the channel, let me know.
I can't probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how much time do you want to take off after you have a kid? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? Longer?
Maybe.
Oh,
first
I think I know
2
where he's
months?
going with
And then
this.
straight back to work, and then into the daycare they go.
I mean, I'm not there yet, but
Sure. Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm there right now, and that is not what you would want.
I don't think you get 2 months, right?
You get 6 weeks or 12 weeks.
Like, preferably, I would want them to be watched by family, but I don't know where I'll be when when I have kids. So.
Yeah, but it is very difficult to leave a 2-month-old.
Yeah. Okay. I had something else, but it slipped my mind. What about you? Why would you not date a guy who is not a feminist?
You would
just-
not date a guy who is not a feminist, so you would date a guy if he's a feminist. Okay.
Doesn't align with my morals,
Morals, okay.
and I wouldn't exactly like date a guy who is a feminist. There's other qualities that I look
Sure.
for, so yeah.
But if he wasn't a feminist, or if he was not a feminist, that would be a deal breaker.
Depends how strong of an anti-feminist he is.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong.
Yeah, no.
Very strong. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how you can even have levels to it, right? You're either pro-feminism or you're not pro-feminism, right? It's like it's really just either one or the other. I don't know how you could just be kind of feminist. It's like you just are a feminist and believe in the feminist ideals, or you don't. I don't really know how you could be in between on that one.
And I don't think most people know the true definition of feminism. People equate it to like women's rights because the word feminine is in there, but that means equal to both sides. That means you guys are splitting the first date and everything thereafter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they know that.
I mean, it's not clear to me if feminism is about equality.
I think it is.
I look more for equity than equality.
What do you mean?
Like,
Hey, hang on real quick. Before you tell us, are you about to use a standing on the box analogy to look over a fence?
that's one, yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
He's
But I
good.
guess using the one like he said, like standing on a box, like if one person is short and one person is tall, you're not just going to give both of them like one box. You're probably going to give the shorter person 2 boxes.
Okay, quick take on this. There was a lot of different stuff, and I think he hit it on the nose when it came to believing in the gender-specific roles or having those expectations, whether it be on first day of relationship, any of that. In both, there is the a lot of times those gender-specific expectations that, yeah, I kind of saw she did not want to admit to. But then at the end, they touched on feminism. I feel like feminism now is not what it used to be, which I do feel like in the past may have been, yes, equal. We want just equality for both, which is fine, great, okay? But now it's less of that and more about trying to put women above, but it's also trying to knock men down. And that, I think, is just very unhealthy to society. And just being that way, being, a quality of life, I think that plays a huge part. But yeah, let me know your guys' views and thoughts on all this stuff. I'm not sure how you guys are going to feel about this type of content. If you, like I said earlier in the video, if you want to see more of this, though, just drop some recommendations in the comments and drop a like and subscribe if you are new here. But we on the road to 10K. But more importantly, I hope you guys have a beautiful, awesome, wonderful day, night, evening. I love y'all. Peace.
A little crazy, got a Spanish ratchet and she's singing bitty bam bam. Let her reload, you turn